What's up? What's going on? Welcome back to NGB Talk. My name is Nicholas. Thanks for clicking on the video. Today's video is all Tennessee Titans related. First thing I'm talking about is the next chapter in all things that are related to the ongoing Marcus Mariota versus Jameis Winston debate. It's been going on for years, ever since they were picked 1 and 2 overall in the NFL draft. So I have some things that I want you to see that Mike Florio and Chris Sims had to say on their NBC Sports talk show. We'll get to that later. Before, I have to give a big shout out to A.J. Brown, new Tennessee Titans wide receiver, who's obviously been watching this YouTube channel and saw what I had to say last week, making the point about number 18 and what a dangerous number it's been for the Titans in recent years. Kenny Britt wearing it and having all kinds of potential, but, you know, being a fool instead, getting arrested and being kicked off the team. Rashard Matthews, who had all kinds of potential, performed really well, but then got really butthurt somehow, and is not with the team anymore. So number 18, not the best number to be using for his new jersey. So he switched over to number 11. So AJ, we like number 11. Go for it. It's going to look great. You and Adam Humphries at number 10, number 11, running out there catching touchdown passes. Looking forward to seeing that. Later on in the video, I'm going to break down a few of the roster moves the Titans have made in recent days after the Titans rookie minicamp. If you haven't seen my video already, there's a card for it right here, so you can click on that and take a look at the Titans rookie minicamp video breakdown I created recently. I got to say thanks for watching that video. Thanks for commenting on it. I enjoy all of your comments. I try to reply to all of them. It's really cool, not only to talk about football, but to be able to talk with you guys about football, to be able to go back and forth and talk about our favorite games and talk about things we agree on or even disagree on. It's cool. Speaking of disagreeing, let's get to this video. I'm going to put in my other headphone here. We're going to see what Chris Sims and Mike Florio have to say. I'm going to break down really quickly. They're just discussing the young quarterbacks. Yeah, the young quarterbacks who potentially could be reaching that second quarterback deal, the big money maker, like we saw Russell Wilson get, like we've seen Minnie get recently. Let's take a look at what they have to say here about Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston.
Okay, I'm going to say Marcus Mariota does not get a long-term deal. I just have not seen enough, as far as just pure quarterback play for me to go, oh, Marcus Mariota's the future and the Titans are in good hands. Talk about another guy with the injury bug. He's been hurt just about every year of his career and had a battle thing. So that's one issue. Two, it's very few and far between in games where we look at and go, ooh, Marcus Mariota played really well. Last year he had that game against the New England Patriots where we all went, damn, this is why they picked this guy number 2. But then, we go through 3 or 4 weeks where we don't see him do anything either. I always come back to this with him. I think he's a athlete who plays quarterback instead of a quarterback who's a good athlete. So I'm going to say no there. Jameis Winston's an interesting one.
Okay, so before we get into Jameis Winston, who he thinks is an interesting one. Okay, first thing, and again, I'm going to try and make this consolidated. This is like the third or fourth take I've done of my analysis of this. So number one, I understand the comment section is probably going to blow up with people, that are on the Marcus Mariota hype train or Marcus Mariota hate train. Some people think that he's the best thing ever. I'm on that train. Some people think he's the worst thing ever, that he's injury prone, that he can't play at the professional level. I could be super subjective and say that I think this guy is amazing, that he plays with so much heart and grit that you can't name a single player who has ever played with as much heart and grit as this guy. But I'll try not to do that, and I'll try to be objective. Let's just take a look at what Chris Sims was saying. He's saying that he thought that Marcus Mariota played so well against New England. And really, if you take a look at that game, the defense of the Titans played really well. Marcus played good. But it was really the defense of the Titans that played amazing. So, honestly, I look at that game and I think, did you really even watch the game? Chris, and no hate against Chris. He's a dude with a job, and he has to create content for NBC, and that's how he gets paid. So, no hate, Chris. You don't watch the Titans. You're not a Titans fan. You don't have the same opinion as me. You don't, really study Marcus. and really know the ins and outs. And it's no disrespect, no hate, but I got to disagree with you here. So basically what he's saying is that he sees Marcus show up, but then he's really inconsistent. So Marcus can play really well, and then he doesn't show up. So let's just take the sample of every football game after that New England game. So going weeks 11 to 16, where he started all these games, he was injured for 2 of them because he couldn't complete the Washington game, couldn't complete the Colts game because he got injured, because his offensive line is just not keeping him healthy. Marcus Mariota nearly has 100% completion percentage against the Houston Texans. If that's not him showing up and being, like, his percentage was 95.7%. The one pass that was not completed bounced off of Derrick Henry's hands. Okay? Went right to his hands and bounced off. He would have had 100% completion percentage against the Houston Texans in week 12. Had not been for it bouncing off of Derrick Henry's hands. How is he not showing up in that game? I'm sorry. That's my question. New York Jets come from behind, win. Marcus puts the money on these dime passes that Taywan Taylor to stretch the field and get the Titans into scoring position. Okay? Marcus Mariota actually, according to sources, called the audible to have Derrick Henry run that 99-yard touchdown run that I know you've all seen. Even if you've never watched a single Titans game, I know you've seen that in highlights. Marcus Mariota was the one that called that audible and said, you know what, let's run left this time. It seems to be working so far. Marcus Mariota down the stretch was 73.6% completion percentage, that accurate going down the stretch after that New England game. He actually played an amazing game against Dallas on Monday Night Football the Sunday before that New England game that Chris thinks he played so well, and then afterwards wasn't perfect. And then got injured. And I totally understand anyone that is concerned, I am, about Marcus Mariota being injury prone. However, has he done enough to show that he deserves a contract? Honestly, objectively, I'm trying to take a look at the numbers and be objective, and I think yes. Subjectively, obviously, it's a obvious yes. But objectively, taking a look at the numbers, he's put the team in winning situations. He has had a really good completion percentage. Last season, he had his best of his career. And now he's going to talk about Jameis Winston.
I do think he's set up for success with the talent he has around him and a Bruce Arians. But, gosh, I got to see it to believe it. I got on and off the field and everything that goes with it. So if you made me pick one right now, I'm going to say neither one of them gets the long-term deal. I favor Jameis more to get it, but I got to see it to believe it before I put that stamp of approval on it.
So, Chris, you favor Jameis Winston, but, again, I'm going to try and be objective here. Taking a look at Jameis Winston's win totals, he has 21 wins versus 33 losses. Marcus Mariota has 28 wins versus 29 losses. That gives Marcus a winning percentage of .491. That's going to go over 500 this season. Winston has a .389 winning percentage. I'm sorry. Winston has not played in such a way to put his team close to being in playoffs. Winston hasn't played in such a way to put his team in the playoffs and then win a playoff game. Marcus has. That's just my objective point of view, and really, this is just another chapter in this thing that's been going on and on ever since they were drafted together at 1 and 2 overall. People think that Winston is the more pro-ready quarterback. People think that Winston throws more touchdown passes, and people still to this day, which is I thought it was over, but the debate's still going on. People think that Winston has the edge over Mariota. I get that Chris is not saying here that Winston is amazing compared to Mariota. He's giving him the slightest of an edge, but I don't know how you could even give him that. So, tried to be objective there. The comment section, I'm sure, will just overflow with people, being against or for or both. For my opinion, that's what it's there for. I have a strict, rigid, very rigid, no hate policy in my comment section. So, I'm glad to hear your opinion. Let's hear it, folks. So, Moving on from that, A.J. Brown wearing number 11. Titans roster is just is being churned away here. A couple guys let go, a couple guys coming in. Cody Hollister, wide receiver. He played for the Patriots last season. He's going to come in and try and compete for a receiver position. Parker Hess, sorry, dude. Tight end, he's going to try and compete. Kareem Orr, defensive back, who's out of Chattanooga, whose uncle actually commented in the comment section below, which is really cool. Go Kareem, I hope you make the team. That rhymed. And Nicholas, thanks for the shout out, by the way. Nicholas Orr, Kareem's uncle. Joe Parker, another wide receiver, also out of Chattanooga, I think, is competing now. DeAndre Payne, defensive back, and Ladarius Wiley, defensive back, all came out on the tryout basis during rookie minicamp and apparently impressed John Robinson. We also have, as of today, Jalen Tolliver from the Cardinals. Played a couple games with the Cardinals last season after being on their practice squad. He's a wide receiver. He's going to compete. And so we have all of these bubble pieces that are working to try and make a roster spot or make a practice squad spot that will eventually give them a spot on the 53-man roster during the season. So looking forward definitely to seeing these guys compete. Kareem Orr and the other folks from Chattanooga, definitely excited to see you guys compete. I gotta say that if you made it this far into the video, thanks for watching, of course. I gotta say I'm so splendidly surprised by the number of people that have been watching this channel, commenting, talking, liking, whatever. It's been amazing. I love football, and I love the Titans, and I'd like for this channel to grow beyond the Titans and just be able to talk about football or just wherever the moment takes me. But it's so cool to be able to create a community now where people can talk about the Titans. I don't feel like there's enough media outlets out there that do. So any outlet that I've ever found on YouTube that does, that's cool, and I want to be a part of it. And so I'm blessed to have your, be it comments, like or hate, to have your views, subscriptions, of course. It's cool to be able to do this for you. So if you made it this far in the video, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to continue to put out content like this. It's cool to be able to talk about the Titans and football and have you guys be able to talk with me about all these things. If you've ever left a comment, I've tried to get back to you in the comments section. I've tried to engage in what you have to say. Be on the lookout for the next couple pieces of content that I'm putting out. I tried to keep my Marcus Mariota fanboy rant to kind of a succinct, tried to keep it succinct this video, but I could go on and on. So if you want me to, that's where the comment section, that's why it exists. Anyway, be sure to check out the other videos. I'm sure the end screen's popping up now. You can see all these other videos. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Have an awesome one. Thanks. Tighten up.